Everyone, hi. Bruce Mufson, LCSW, Sunridge of Nevada, of course, and coming at you with another video breakdown. Tonight, we're going to do really a great artist, and I'm always amazed at how my agent slash producer can find new talent and just show it to me. Kevin Gates is the person's name, and the song is Broken Man, and it's from the album which is just simply a great album, is The Ceremony. And he talks about issues of relationships and how he struggles as a father and to continue to be seen as a father. And there's some really, really great lyrics. So, as always, tonight we're going to have a little bit of a different change. You have the chance to ask questions as you're watching the video and leave comments. But just for the sake of going through the song first, just introduce yourself, park your question, so to speak. And when we get a chance at the end of the breakdown, question after question, that's what I'm here for. I want to hear everyone's comments. Please, please, please comment. I love that stuff. I work with that and I live off that. But let me do the breakdown first. And as always, I'm only going to cover the parts that I think are actually relevant, although the whole song is excellent, and kind of give some of my clinical impressions as I've done before. All right, here we go. I didn't know this guy. So I had to look him up when I was told to do the song. Of course, no problem. I always look at people on Wikipedia. I read stuff about them, and I read like a few hundred comments from the different songs, and I listen to a variety of the songs to get a flavor of the individual. And he's definitely an up-and-comer, but it's clear there's been difficulties with his childhood and growing up. So I understand kind of the thematic perspectives where he's coming from and what he's trying to clarify and to break down. It's also interesting to me looking at the audio feed and just the cover art is the back of him. And the back of him is shown as being very, very muscular, very, very powerful. And of course, there's tattoos on the back going back and forth, but you don't see the front. And it was kind of illustrative to me with the concept of like, I'm powerful, I'm almighty, I'm strong, but yet at the same time, you can't see the front of me. You can't see my inner face, only my back to intimidate and to, keep you away because I'm wary of people and getting to know them. So it's kind of like, it's so interesting to me when you look at things clinically, nothing is really done randomly, and you're really getting a chance to understand why the character or why the individual feels the way that they do. I've been hurt, I've been treated badly, and this is my way of kind of keeping people at bay. So here we go. In the intro, it goes, I'm just ready for you to get over me. You heard me? Man, what are you trying to be this time? Man, there's a comma after that. And what I'm getting is he ends up with, yeah, don't torture me, man. Get me over with quick so I can start my healing process. In other words, it's like, hey, you know what? I didn't make it. I didn't make the grade. I didn't make the team. I wasn't the number one pick. Let's get it over with. In a sense, put a fork in me. I'm done. Let me start over again so I can get to know myself better and not make the same mistakes. So it's interesting. This is a person that's talking about being betrayed, not being successful, not being able to go the distance. So it's like, I don't want to hear any more like stories and like, hey, we think you're a good guy. You're really a good person. Just didn't work out. It's more us than you. It's like, let's cut to the quick. I don't want to waste time if I'm not going to be seen as a person you want me to be with a person to be around. Verse 1, what you trying to be this time? I'm tired. I'm speaking from the heart. I speak for me this time. Having petty disagreements, up and grieving, trouble sleeping, and, delusional thinking, trouble sleeping, delusional thinking, having petty disagreements, up and grieving, trouble sleeping, delusional thinking. Yeah, it's not working out. He's kind of living you that beginning, that ominous way of looking at things, like you think the relationship is going to go well. It's not. There's problems. And the way he's saying is, I'm speaking from the heart. I'm tired of this. We're arguing over things that are kind of stupid. And the trouble, with sleeping, and I have delusional thinking. Oh boy, I can relate to these words. What's interesting about a great artist is you read something or you listen to something and you're drawn in. And even though obviously we don't come from the same backgrounds and we're a little bit different in age and our skin color, we're not that dissimilar. I know what he's talking about. Trouble sleeping and delusional thinking. I don't sleep well. I've discussed this before many times, and how many Americans don't sleep well. Trouble sleeping and delusional thinking. You're not thinking clearly. You're tired, you're sleep deprived, you don't get into that deep REM, and you got that delusional thinking. Your thinking doesn't always make sense. It's so interesting how he ties it all together. He did a really good job with that. All right, going forward, he goes, underappreciated, weaken his self-esteem, can't be vulnerable with nobody. They view it as a weakness. They do. Underappreciated. Yeah, I'm putting all this effort into a relationship, and you know what? You're not doing it for me. You're not making an effort. You're not trying. I can always tell when a marriage is good, or at least on the surface it's good, when I see how they act around each other and around their children. And when I see the husband making an effort and the wife doing vice versa, it's not like just women only. This is a good relationship. This is a good marriage. I saw something with this young father, and he has a couple of girls, and he had brought them somewhere, and the kids are just acting crazy. Little kids do that. But he was patient. He didn't get excited. He didn't get upset. The girls were pulling this down. They knocked this over. They wanted his attention. They were grabbing him. He took it in stride. He didn't get upset. He didn't get angry. He didn't stalk off. And I thought, you know what? His wife is very lucky to have him. He's a good guy. He took the kids out early in the morning to give his wife a break, maybe sleep late, take a long shower, have a breakfast without kids pulling on her. Good guy. Good guy. So underappreciated is a big deal. And I hope when he takes the kids home, the wife says, you know what? I'm really lucky to have you as a soulmate. You're a great, great person. So I pick up on that. Are you being appreciated? Do you show appreciation to, your partner? It's really, really important to think that way. And, and then the next one, can't be vulnerable with nobody. They view it as a weakness. That tells you never had a relationship the way you thought then. If you can't be open up with each other, you can't talk to each other, then what's a relationship based on? Intimacy? Then I'm telling you from experience, that's going to fade. I'm not saying it's going to go away, and you should always have an interest in your partner, how they look, and feel an attraction, of course. But if you don't have the ability to open up to each other, you're basically living with a stranger. And it's not a long, meaningful relationship. That's a really, really good point. If I can't be vulnerable with you, the only person I can talk to is the dog. That's a problem. Or my buddies. Why am I coming home to somebody? I could come into an empty house. So you got to think of it from that angle. It's a good perspective. But then he goes down like this: manipulation tactic. Mad they come and get repeated. Meaning like this, it never ends. Broke me to my knees inside. It made me feel depleted. Man, you see, man, I'm the man. Tears falling while I'm seated at my daughter's birthday party. I was contemplating leaving, looking at my son like this will be the last time he's going to see me. Damn. You know what happens is you feel like you're a failure. I've said this before, and we discuss it and we talk about it with our own, when we drop the tweets, when we do any kind of breakdowns. This is why we want you to join our program. $50 a month, any which way you want, contact us. This is the kind of content you're not going to find anywhere else, quite frankly. I know you hear that all the time. We're unique, we're different, no one's like us. There's no one like us on the internet, social media, in mental health. You're not going to find this in Neptune or Pluto or 20,000 leagues under the sea. This is it. This is cutting edge. These are the kind of things we talk about that we bring up. No one else does this. So for $50 a month, you get a chance like right now. I want to hear comments. It's nice to get comments a week later or 3 days later. I want to hear them now. You have a chance to be heard. That's the biggest thing you hear today. No one hears me. No one hears me. I'm hearing you. I'm listening to you. Contact us now. You're making me feel depleted. Okay, that's just a joke. All right. So tears falling while I'm seated at my daughter's birthday party. I was contemplating leaving, looking at my son like this will be the last time you're going to see me. You feel like you're a failure. And I've said this before, I could be worth $2 billion. I could be 6'7". My fantasy of playing in the NBA. I actually have hops. I got big hands. I could make LeBron look stupid. Yeah, my fantasy. But you know what? My most important thing in my life are my kids. That's it. Everything else is, great. It's a brand new car, great clothes, a hot looking wife. Great, great, great. How many suits can I wear? I only got one body. How many pairs of shoes can I wear? Without kids, your kids to be successful, you really do feel like a loser and a loner. And depleted is a great line to say it. So I get where he's coming from. And what happens next? This was brought up out a lot of comments from the versions that I was watching today and yesterday. Suicidal thinking, heart so heavy in my chest that it gets difficult when breathing. That's called anxiety. And then sacrifice it all to see you smile, but you don't see it at all. Yeah, I'm doing the best I can, but you ignore me. I feel like I'm outside the loop. It's devastating. And then doing everything you can could get confusing. Told me you had other options. Hardest pill I had to swallow. Yeah, failure of a relationship is very painful. They say if you get divorced, it's like literally like a death, and it takes 5 years to come to normal with it, to come to grips with being out of a relationship. If you put time into it, it really, really hurts. You do feel suicidal. Sucked it up, and I got through to take care of my children. And yes, I need you to choose it. I don't make you happy. Yeah, most important thing, my kids, my kids, my kids, my kids. What do I have to show without my kids? There's all these songs, they've been doing this since the dawn of time with music, gold records on the wall, an Eagles song, but what do you have to show for it when you don't have anything to pass it along to and spend time with? It's your kids. Interesting thing I want to share. I saw this thing on Netflix, not a bio, it's like a series on Tyson Fury, the former heavyweight champion. And he had retired, and it's kind of like trying to follow his life. What was interesting is that he hangs out in the area that he lives in. He goes to the beach a lot in the boardwalk, likes to do running up there. He takes his kids with him. And because he's so world famous, people will constantly stop by and take pictures with him, take pictures of him, want to take pictures with him. And they asked one of his little kids, because he has 6 kids and they're all kind of young. And the kid says, I hate it when they come. I want to spend time with my daddy. I don't like it when daddy spends time with them. The kids are upset. They want to spend time with you. When you don't get a chance to do that, you feel like, what am I in existence for? So that is the most important thing. And he's being very, very honest about it. He's being very, very real. And he's being very, very true. Some great lyrics here. Then he goes like this. I'm not a gang member. I'm a good father to my mini-me's. He's making fun of his kids like a joke, whatever. With great power always comes with great responsibility. Well, that's Spidey Man talk. But it's the truth. The power is you're the father. It's the most important thing out there. It's the most important role you're going to play. You got to be a breadwinner. I get it. You got to be nice to your mother-in-law. I get it. You got to be nice, when you don't want to, sit and, watch your kid for the 9th time in a row on the Thanksgiving play, be the 3rd, Christmas tree with the 3rd pilgrim to the right. I get it. But that's what it is. That's the most powerful role you have, is how your kid's going to turn out. Are they going to be successful? Or are they going to be failures? Because that's the only thing you think about as you get older. Are my kids going to be successful or are they not? With great power always come with great responsibility. And I've said this a million times too. If you don't hear it at home, how to act, you're going to find out on the street how to act. It's going to be 10 times harder because no one else is going to care. Then it goes like this. I'm trying to guide these little dudes the right way. You heard me. You know what I'm saying? See, here's the difference when you're in a position of power, because anything these do is a reflection of me. Reflection of me. Great line. Exactly. As you get older, people get to know you, you become less and less interesting. This is what you do for a living. Great. Fantastic. They start asking how your kid's doing. Your kid, if it's one, or kids, if it's multiple, more than one. And your kids become interesting. What are they up to? What are they doing? What's their life? Are they married? Are they in a career? Are they happy? Do they own a home? Where do they live? Are they involved in the community? Does he give back? Is he involved? Does he do blood drives? Does he coach Little League? Does he do a trash cleanup? Does he help out with the neighbors? Is he active in his religious group? What did your kid turn out to be? Someone you're proud of or someone you're ashamed of, quite frankly? And believe me, that's what people talk about it when they leave you, because you get boring after a while. So I understand that. As a parent, I totally get that. You never want you not about bragging about your kid, but you want to say something positive about your kid. And that really stems a lot from you. Again, the lines are open. Contact us, comment to us. We want to hear what you have to say. This is your chance to talk. We're not that far off from being done. I'll answer any questions you guys have afterwards, but I want to clarify stuff. This is your chance to do so. Okay, then my headache, the headache when it comes to governing killers. Man, you're really governing killers. They don't know how to solve problems. They don't know how to communicate. All they know is the drill. Yeah, they don't know how to relate to others. This is a common problem when you have to have a persona that you're a tough guy 24/7. And so many times when I went to detention, juvenile, talked to kids who had done some really, really stupid things, and now we're looking at some serious time, they were like, whoa, I'm not meant to be an adult. I'm not meant to have to do time, 15, 20, 25 years. This is over my league. It's over my pay grade. Yeah, now you thought wrong. And that's it. Yeah, and it's easy to kill someone. It's a lot harder to act normal and appropriate and not do something that makes you look stupid and gives you internal grief and gives your family internal grief. There's consequences to actions. Then verse 2. Here, he goes like this. I done found somebody that loved me for real. You said that if I leave, I wouldn't be blank. You said my fans will stop supporting me if they found out that we split. See, everything around me, they'll fall apart if you're not in the mix. Why would you say that? Why do you got to make someone feel worthless? Why knock them? Why humiliate them? He's trying to say, I'm a man. I'm trying to do the best I can, trying to get through life the best way I know how, and you're ripping me, and it hurts, and it's painful. Don't do that. If it's over, it's over. What he's saying is, don't dig in the knife that much deeper. I already feel like garbage. And then he says this. He goes, biggest comeback story ever. For world is full of broken men. I said this openly before. It's not anything new. I hadn't said this before. There's been a constant effort since the last 30, 40 years to dehumanize men, that we're not worth it. You don't need us. Okay, you don't even need us to procreate. We can get the sperm ourselves. We can get it implanted. We can have eggs harvested. We don't need you. I don't need a man in my life. I could be single, blah, blah, blah. You know what's happening? It's failed miserably. You need a strong man. I'm not saying we get it. Not every woman, needs a guy. I think there's abuse when neglect involved. Having a man in the house has huge impact. I get it. Women are very determined to say that they don't need it. They can do it on their own. Okay. You get a husband, doesn't just, excite you intimately, but also knows how to take out the garbage. Also knows how to put a frame into the wall. Or do a diaper. We'll say, go take a nap, honey. I'll take the kid to the park. Or make dinner. We even go out to get dinner. Who really cares after a while? I can do the shopping, honey. You stay back. Take it easy. Not because you're weak, not because you're delicate, because you're showing your respect, love, and admiration. There's a lot more than just going into the bedroom. That's the point I'm just trying to make here. So he's trying to say, don't rip me. If you don't want it, you don't want it. So adversity built character as I became a greater man. Okay, realize I got to go for it. I got to be myself. And here ends up with this. This is the last one from the outro. Again, anyone with the comments, here we go. Let them drop. Anyone listening right now, don't let nobody's opinion of you determine your self-worth. Never let nobody opinion of you determine your self-worth. It's not easy to do. You got to find that inner strength to make that happen. But I'm saying don't let it, just preclude you from making efforts to be the man you need to be. Not want to be, but need to be. You got to step it up. You got to take control. I can't say I'm a perfect father. That's a fantasy. But with my kids, I try and stay active. Be a role model. Be a support. Be a person. Be a factor. And I like what he did in this song because, in Broken Men, because he's saying like so many men are just gone. Like they don't exist. They're like blown away. It's like taking a pencil and erasing them. You don't need them. You don't need them. You don't need them. And what happens? I feel that the kids do suffer from that. There's a presence there. In the biopic of Tyson, he goes away for these, like, paying gigs. Like, he shows up at a wrestling match where he makes these public appearances, and one of the kids just wails, and is crying and sobbing, "Daddy, Daddy." Misses his dad because he loves his father. He wants to be around. He wants to get hugged and kissed. It's normal. We're at the end. Song was great. This guy has a lot of potential. I mean, he's been doing this for a while, but he's coming into his own, I feel, listening to all of his music. Anyone has any questions, any comments, wants to leave them, now's the time. But for those of you that are going to watch this, I'm telling you again, Bruce Mufson, LCSW, $50 a month to get me. You pay for it. We do it multiple ways. There's no one out there like me. We break comments and topics like this down, songs like this down all the time. We want to hear what you have to say. As far as I'm concerned, the party did not get started tonight. I would like to have seen 30 questions pile up and 30 comments pile up, because I would have gone not in 20 minutes. I'd do another hour and a half. That's what I live for. It's like going to a 12-round boxing match. I only did one round. I knocked the guy out. I could do that all night. That doesn't make me a good fighter. I'm fighting a weak fighter. I want to fight the best of the best of the best of the best. That only comes from taking on the best challengers. It's the same thing with hearing what you guys have to say and your thoughts and your perspectives about this topic. Are you a father that struggles with this? Because a lot of the comments were about guys that feel exactly like he does and how the song resonated with them. So clearly there are people out there that have a lot of things to say about this topic. Get started. Contact me. I want to hear what you have to say. I'm going to say this again and again and again. Comment, comment, comment. There is no one out there like me. So in closing, I don't see any comment. Got to be real about it. Sunridge, Nevada, $50 a month. Contact us. If you want to give me comments later, is fine. I'm going to get back to you. But we want to hear from you about this topic and every other topic that's going on in your life. Thank you. Bruce Mufson, LCSW, Sunridge, Nevada.